Welcome, I am Captain Moron. I am a casual Marvel Snap streamer bound to boldly find card synergies that no snapper has found before, and you might say that I'm a moron, so you don't have to be. So here's how it's going to work. I haven't posted a video for 3 weeks, you've probably noticed. I still played a different deck every week. We're going to review 3 decks, talk about who the MVP was, the surprise was, what the takeaway is for each of those decks, as well as how they did as far as cubes in each of the weeks, and then preview the deck I will be playing the coming week. The deck I played in the first week was one I've been waiting to play for a long time. I love Agatha Harkness. MVP of the deck was Thor. Having that Mjolnir put me in a beautiful spot a lot of times, because Agatha will play the Mjolnir. The surprise was Jubilee. I'm not really sure what I was thinking putting Jubilee in this deck, but it was a terrible idea. Do not put Jubilee in an Agatha deck. Ever, ever, ever. Agatha has an obsession with filling locations, and on turn 4, that means Jubilee's going to be the 4th card at that location. The takeaway is, for an Agatha purist like me, who thinks that Agatha should play out the whole game, I just don't think it's very successful. Your best bet's to do a Lady Sif Agatha or a Wave Agatha, something like that. I got a total of negative 90 cubes over the course of the week. Yeah, it dropped 9 ranks even. Next deck is what I call the Patriot 7 drones deck. The idea is to get Patriot down, which adds +2 to Ultron's drones, Mystique, which adds another +2 if it's on top of Patriot, and Khazar and Blue Marvel. Together they add another 2, 2, 4, 6, onto the one that's 7. The Patriot deck was much better, got a total of 109 cubes, took me up almost 11 ranks over the course of the week. And the MVP was actually Khazar, with Squirrel Girl in there, and Debris, and Ultron. Khazar was just a helpful addition in and of himself. The surprise was Debris. I put her in there as kind of a joke. I was just kind of like, oh yeah, like, rocks will be good for me because they don't have abilities and bad for my opponent, but it was really bad for my opponent. And sometimes it was really funny. One time I thought it would be humorous to play Debris on Sinister London, is what it was. I mean, so it didn't fill the whole board, but it was messy. I didn't win, but it was enjoyable. And the takeaway, I would say Patriot is a deck that can take you to infinite. The third deck I played this week is what I call a Thanatumos deck, which is a cross between Thanos and Atuma. I got Atuma and I just kind of fell in love with Atuma. I've been playing a lot of Atuma because all you really need is armor down, and it's a good card. The Thanos deck took me some getting used to, but I did end gaining a total of 52 cubes, so just over 5 ranks with this Thanos deck. What I'll say is the MVP was Quinjet. The ability to have those stones cost 0 is delicious, because then you can play them literally whenever you want. So being able to just wait and play them whenever is wonderful. However, I will say the surprise for me was these stones, you need to play them ASAP, and the reason is right here. Draw 2 stones, draw a card, draw a card, draw a card, draw a card. Are you seeing a pattern here? All of them but the Power Stone have you draw a card. Now I would advise waiting until as late as possible to play Power Stone so it doesn't get countered in some way. But playing all those is super important so that you can land the combo, and often if you do play them, you will land the combo, especially if you can get the magic down. And that's my takeaway as well. Bouncing off the surprise in a Thanos deck, any Thanos deck, play the stones as soon as possible. Before I dive into next week's deck, just want to give a quick shout out to MarvelSnapZone.com. It's the one-stop shop for all things Marvel Snap on the internet. You will find each of those decks, Apathetic Agatha, Patriot 7 Drones, Thanatumos, all on Marvel Snap Zone. By those names, I'll post the links in the description as well. Now, next week's deck. I got a little sweetie named Absorbing Man recently, and I thought it might be most fun to try to Absorbing Man a Taskmaster. Now I'll admit, this deck, despite being called Taskmaster Absorb, is not built around Absorbing Man. Honestly, Taskmaster is about the only card you can Absorbing Man in the whole deck. Other than that, it's a 0 deck. But look for that video next week In between now and then, you can catch me over on Twitch, twitch.tv/IamCaptainMoron. I do what I call a short stream every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday night, just half an hour. So hop on, let me know what you think. I try to get as many cubes as possible. The most I've ever gotten was actually this past week with Patriot. I got 42 cubes in half an hour. That was very fun. I'll post another YouTube video next Saturday. And until then, I am Captain Moron.